Hi all, thanks for stopping by my channel. Today I will talk a bit about autism and shame. While growing up, I consistently saw the same thing over and over again at family gatherings. It must have been for a period of more than 20 years. About halfway through, a man just stood up and left without saying anything to anyone, and he didn't make any eye contact either. I didn't understand why he did that then, but I do understand it now. The man was autistic and the social interaction weren't automatic to him. All sounds and movements were distorted and increased in intensity. At first his brain slowed down, then it began to hurt. The pain and fatigue increased gradually until he couldn't take it anymore. He had to leave. The deep feelings of shame made it impossible for him to make eye contact and say goodbye to anyone before leaving. In autism care, you can use the Vineland Adaptive Behavior Scale to estimate what the person can and cannot do. The profile can be very uneven. This is a Vineland 3. It's about 4 adaptive domains and the subdomains. First we have communication, receptive, expressive and written communication. Then we go on to daily living skills. You have personal, domestic and community. The next category is socialization. You have interpersonal, play, leisure and the coping skills. The last is motor skills. You have gross motor skills and fine motor skills. And you use this Vineland to get an overview of what the person can and cannot do. Somebody can have the receptive communications of a 2-year-old and the expressive communication skills of a 4-year-old. The same person can also have very uneven scores in daily living skills, social skills and motor skills. The unevenness in skills can often lead to misunderstandings and that persons meet the autistic person at a different level in different areas. One more problem area for someone autistic is executive functions like organizing, planning, shifting focus, initiating tasks and making decisions. One more problem area for someone autistic is weak central coherence or lack of understanding context. For example, when somebody who is neurotypical gets into a new situation, they get a brief overview and then fill in the details as they go. But an autistic person has to build the overview brick by brick, and it takes a longer time and gives a poor overview of the situation. Autistic persons with just below normal to high cognitive ability know that they are different and are often ashamed of it. Autistic persons with low cognitive ability aren't aware that they are different and can't relate to being another way. At the extremes of the scales, the gaps can be enormous. Some of the things the person I talked about in the start of the video struggled with. He couldn't attend to a full family gathering due to being overwhelmed by the sensory input and social interactions. He had to spend a lot of time alone, exploring special interests to recharge. He had problems with daily living skills, like remembering to eat, doing laundry, planning, shopping for food, tidying, and paying bills. Some of the things the person in the start of the video did. He could play blindfold chess. He laid on a couch in a living room while his opponent sat in the kitchen with the chessboard in front of him, calling out the mouse. So he kept the entire game of chess in his memory. He could play a game of chess, then talk for 10 minutes, and after that he went through 32 moves from memory and could point out that in the 14th move you made a blunder, and he also explained continuation in several paths of each of the individual moves. At one family gathering I saw him play a computer chess engine in Blitz chess at the highest skill rating to a stalemate while looking around in the room and speaking to different people, thus only being half focused on the game. He had a degree in physics. He worked in a foreign country as a maths teacher, and he worked also as a computer programmer for more than 25 years. He had full bookshelves in each room with book piles on top of them. There were even book piles in the kitchen. At the chess club he sat in his track shoes, but they were in the wrong brand. Bastard! He was there effortlessly, keeping afloat and handling people with master's degrees and PhDs, 5 and 6 at a time. For decades he poured his time, energy and soul into studying, expecting nothing in return. He lived for the process of learning. As Jung said, shame is a soul-eating emotion. A lifetime of shame from struggling with basic living skills and social skills. Energy levels. The fact that persons with autism also have undiagnosed or diagnosed CPSD symptoms adds even more shame. High intelligence is also a factor that adds more shame. That kind of shame will make you kind and humble in many ways, but the huge contrasts also makes you very sure in what you can and cannot do for past and future generations. I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, please hit like and subscribe. See you next time. Thanks. Bye.